park then. It's like for people who live here. And she's like, well, I live here.
We were like second people in line. I was like, wait.
Yeah, just 20.
I've been thinking way too much.
We'll say them real fast. Say the blessing now.
All right. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadliknu shel Shabbat. Blessed are you, source of life, ruler of the universe, who hallows us with blessings, commanding us to kindle the light of Shabbat. This next prayer is not necessarily always said on Shabbat, the blessing of praise. It is for special occasions when you say it, so I think this is a good time. The Shehechianu is a beautiful prayer that simply gives thanks to God to enable us to reach this moment, this very moment, where we can see the beautiful stars soon, and this beautiful setting, where we can celebrate the marriage of such a beautiful couple. But that's not the only special occasion today. I am proud to announce that today is also my parents' anniversary. Happy 38th to my parents, Eric and Shawnee. And Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Shehechianu v'kimanu v'higianu Azman hazeh. Amen. Blessed are you, the source of life, ruler of the universe, for giving us life, sustaining us, and enabling us to reach this season. Next is the blessing over wine, some people's favorites, you know. Wine is a symbol of joy and life in Judaism. It also helps to relax the body into this day off to come. Giving thanks to God for wine is like saying, thanks, God, for helping me relax and getting through the stressors of this last week. Baruch, I'm going to do the short blessing of the wine just so you all know. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Borei peri hagafen. Blessed are you, the source of life, ruler of the universe, who created the fruit of the vine. And lastly, we say the blessing of the bread. We give thanks for this bountiful meal that we are about to eat. And we'll do it the fun way, you know. Hamotzi lechem min haaretz. We give thanks to God for bread. Our voices rise in song together as our purple prayers said. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. And this is specially made for each and one of us from my mother this holiday. And we said the prayer of the bread, so now let's eat. Shabbat Shalom.
Take a moment to look out all four sides of the chuppah, which symbolizes the home you will build as a married couple. Look at the smiling and happy faces of family and friends who have traveled to join you. And now look out to the Grand Teton mountain range in this wondrous nature, connecting you to all the significant wilderness moments that you have shared with family, friends, and each other. Jamie moving rocks with her family on the 15-acre range outside of Bartlesville. Jarrod touring the country on Morgenstern family trips, Grand Teton included, to shared New Year's houses in upstate New York, and then viewing totality in Malheur National Forest, where you became engaged. And now close your eyes. Re-see the stars and the Milky Way galaxy from last night. The infinite beauty of our universe that you so joyously love to explore together. Open your eyes and see each other now, in this space, in this moment. I offer you a first blessing on your chuppah for this momentous occasion. May you fill your home with love, laughter, learning, exploration, abundant kindness, compassion, creativity, and gratitude. Thank you for allowing us to be your first guests. At this time, we also want to recognize those we hold dear that cannot be here today. Specifically keeping in our thoughts Uncle David Morgenstern, brother of Eric, his wife Aunt Care, and their daughter Zoe, who are back home in Healdsburg, California. It was an absolute joy and privilege to be part of crafting today's ceremony. The process reflected so many sweet attributes of Jarrod and Jamie and provided a glimpse into the way in which they so brilliantly balance each other out. Jarrod's exuberance for any and all ideas, followed by Jamie's patient processing and thoughtful reflection. The ceremony itself reflects the clear love they have for their families, friends, and traditions. The first half of the ceremony will be a series of blessings for the couple, and the second portion will be the exchange of vows and rings. The first blessing is over wine as a marker of this sweet and joyous moment. Jarrod and Jamie want to share in this first blessing with their parents, whom they recognize for being models of companionship. Jarrod and Jamie also appreciate all of the support and love their parents have given them during their journey. So, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Praised are you, Adonai, our God, whose presence fills creation, forming the fruit of the vine. And so now they'll drink the wine.
It's red, be careful. So, first.
Hallie, Jamie's sister, will perform the song Lava on her ukulele as a blessing for Jarrod and Jamie. If you are a good singer and know the words, myself definitely not included, feel free to join along. So.
Long, long time ago,
little did he know that living in the sea below another volcano was listening to his song. I have a dream, I hope will come true. You're here with me, and I'm here with you. I wish the earth seemed the sky up above. Will send me someone to love. Oh, they were so happy to find me above the sea, all together now. Their love grew and grew. No longer are they alone with Aloha as their new home. And when you visit them, this is what they say. I have a dream, I hope will come true. That you'll grow with me, and I'll grow with you. We paint the earth, see the sky we paint too. I love you.
Woo!
Oh, wow.
If you're giving one of the 7 blessings, please come forward to this area. You guys stand just where you were. Yeah. So, in many religions and cultures, there's a tradition that friends and family come forward to bless the bride and groom. In Jewish tradition, it is called the Sheva Brachot, the 7 blessings. Jarrod and Jamie have asked friends and family to share a blessing with them today. Max and Susie, friends from Kansas and New York, will be sharing the first blessing.
May the life you share together be as sweet as the wine you drink today. Blessed is the source of life, who created the fruit of the vine. And we'd also like to share something else. This is one of Jarrod's favorite poets, also the namesake of your beautiful puppy that's here today. I'm on that good cushion alcohol. I got some down family I can call. I don't know what I'd do without y'all. I'm gonna ball to the day I fall.
He's a poet.
Watch out. Jarrod, may your love for one another always be a source of inspiration and happiness. Blessed is the universe who creates a wonderful, brilliant world.
May your journey together be blessed with generosity and forgiveness. May you enable each other to fulfill your dreams, and may you be committed to the paths of courage and hope. Blessed is the source of generosity who created such good, remarkable people. You too.
Wherever you travel and wherever life takes you, may the love of your family and friends always echo in your hearts, even across great distances and times. Blessed is the source of love who supports the edifice of love.
With the strength of your relationship,
May you help transform the world in big ways and small ways. May your love for each other be a source of warmth and inspiration for your community, a community which you fostered through compassion and joy.
Blessed is
Blessed is the source of healing, who brings well-being to the world through her children. And may we live to see the Kansas City Royals win another World Series in our lifetime.
Together.
Jarrod and Jamie, may you always find security and safety in each other and in the foundation of your relationship. And may you always be each other's most important protectors and defenders. And may you defend each other fiercely and love each other fiercely. I'm going to hold it.
Blessed is the source of life, who creates wonder, joy, song, and delight. May the bride and groom be filled with gladness and rejoicing, love, harmony, and companionship. And may they be blessed with lots and lots of peace. Blessed is the source of life, who is the source of peace.
Thank you, everyone. Yeah, fill back in. Jarrod and Jamie, you guys can come forward again. Hey, it's still working, so we're okay. Thank you, everyone. Jarrod, Jamie, this moment between the two of you, it's so full of wonder and beauty. You are truly glowing. When you look at each other, you smile deeply and lovingly. As already mentioned, you have chosen a truly magnificent place for this ceremony. The mountains, the vegetation, the animal life, the night sky. It is mesmerizing to be in such a rich setting. As humans, we can't help but want to know more about how this all functions and our place within it. John Muir, the Scottish-American naturalist who was instrumental in the founding of our national parks, once said, "The clearest way into the universe is through a forest wilderness." Trees especially hold a place of great wonder. For many years in the scientific community, they were marveled at for their strength and unique qualities, but generally seen as individuals living within the ecosystem. The Douglas fir, for example, which can be found in this beautiful forest, was seen as resilient and powerful, but its appearance gave no indication of any relationship or communication with the other trees. Slowly, however, we have come to discover the intricate ways in which trees form unions and communities, weaving together and communicating at great depths. They send messages through the tips of their roots, protecting and supporting one another as they grow old together. It has been nearly 10 years since you two set roots down in New York City. 6 years ago, you became entwined as co-workers at Buddy Media. On an October night, you nestled into a corner window seat at Antarctica Bar for your first conversation. Jamie recalled that you guys skipped any small talk and dove right into deep conversations about life, purpose, and love. She said, "I liked talking to him and just remembering not wanting the conversation to end." A few months later, the conversation picked back up at another staff function. Jarrod conveniently captured some of his sentiments from that night in an email that he sent to his soccer buddies a few days later. "My men, so sorry I didn't make it to the Slow Jams party on Friday. I hear it was a right banger. Music, lasagna, everyone dancing. Annoyed I missed it. But I would like to share a story of how your party still worked out for myself. Had a happy hour with some coworkers and was going righteous. Things were progressing well with the cutie, Jamie, and I said, let's go to my friend Slow Jam's party. We obviously didn't make it that far, but it was still Slow Jams for all. I think we can all agree this weekend has been pretty righteous so far, and looking forward to more music and dancing later tonight. You both recounted that on that second meeting, you walked 50 blocks through the Upper West Side, talking about significant moments in your life. It is so clear that from the start, there is a depth to the way in which you engage with each other. So we see that the root of your relationship has been this strong and meaningful communication. It has helped you grow with one another in all of the experiences you have shared. You have adventured, traveling across the world from Amsterdam to LA. Jamie has learned at times to humor Jarrod, allowing him to hold her hand when crossing the street so that he may be her protector. Code Beluga. Jarrod has learned that Jamie is definitely right 90% of the time and probably right the other 10%. There have been Morgenstern family trips in Colorado and Hawaii, soccer watching and gallery exhibitions with the Lynn family, and even the merging of Christmas and Eric Morgenstern's birthday. And you have helped each other during 3 New York City moves, the last of which has seen you create a home with so much hospitality, laughter, and of course, Wheezy. Your roots have grown so beautifully intertwined with one another. You have learned to support one another in clear and visible ways, but also in ways that are below the surface, at the core of who you both are. And just as trees form vast networks between different species, you too, as a pair, have reached out and fostered a web of connections, creating a community of friends and family who delight in your presence and being part of your journey. May the rings that you will soon place on your hands be a sign of your further commitment to grow together. May you embrace each other, celebrating in your joys, and bring comfort to one another in times of sorrows. And may you experience many years of loving partnership, helping one another travel the universe through the wilderness. So now we transition into the vows and rings part of the ceremony. Jarrod and Jamie have written their own vows that they will read. The words live together in their ketubah, the traditional Jewish wedding contract that they signed earlier today. I'm just going to hold it. I can use it.
No, I
Okay.
You go first.
We promise that each day we will strive to deepen our relationship.
We promise to listen compassionately and to accept and to understand one another.
We promise to be united in our shared values.
We promise to honor our differences.
We pledge to each other our mutual trust and respect.
We promise to be honest, open, loyal, and devoted to one another.
We promise to be faithful friends, companions, and partners.
We will embrace all of the joys, surprises, and challenges of life.
In times of happiness, we will cherish each other.
Through life's storms, we'll shelter each other.
Our family will practice traditions inspired by our ancestors, and we will leave space for new customs created from shared experiences.
We vow to establish a home open to all of life's potential, filled with respect for all people, based on empathy and understanding.
We promise to make our home a place of warmth, laughter, learning, generosity, and love. You want to skip that one? Good.
We will live each day as the first, the last, and the only day we will have with one another.
We promise to treat each other with loving kindness and work together to repair the world.
These things we promise to each other as we joyfully commit ourselves as husband and wife.
I can take
I don't know where I thought it was going to go.
And now for the rings. Jarrod, who has the rings?
Is there a pug? Wheezy. Wheezy. Good girl. Come here. Sit. Thank you.
You want to take the whole box?
Go to bed.
I'll take the. A wise man once said that a wife and husband should wear their love as a token from their heart on their finger of their hand. The reason is that the hand is the part of our body that we see constantly during the course of a day. So, Jarrod and Jamie, when you look at your hands from this day forth, you'll know that your hands are now different, that you've expressed a promise of family and commitment to each other. So now, Jarrod. Not yet. Repeat after me. By this ring,
By this ring,
I am my beloved's,
I am my beloved's,
and she is mine.
and she is mine.
Place the ring on her finger. Jamie, repeat after me. By this ring,
By this ring,
I am my beloved's,
I am my beloved's,
and he is mine.
and he is mine.
Right. By the power vested in me and by the state of Wyoming, I now pronounce you husband and wife. You may kiss the bride. There are many explanations for the custom of breaking a glass at a Jewish wedding. Thanks. One interpretation is that this practice reminds you, Jarrod and Jamie, along with all present, that even in the moment of our greatest joy, we recognize that we do not yet live in a world that is fully just and compassionate. Things you both spoke about in your vows. In breaking the glass, you recognize the work left to do and decide as a couple the truest way to help repair the world. All right, here it is.
Ready?
Mazel tov! Chaim! Woo!
Mouse tail.
You're gonna do, girl. Oh, there she is. Wheezy. I said, yank, or I just. Yeah, we're gonna be funny.
Different name, but the last name's the same.
Yeah, what was the first one?
I was up in that hill over there, and I was facing the other way.
Oh, of course, Pilgrim's in it.
Oh, Pilgrim's there?
No, Pilgrim.
Oh! Oh my god.
It's like, I've never been to the Derby, but this is what it's like.
So cool.
Taylor being like, nope, not gonna go fast.
Are you wearing your suspenders today also?
It's so pretty, guys.
Guys, this is my wife. And I am her husband. Again, thank you guys so much for coming. It has been a day beyond words. We love you all so much. It is just so special to have an adventure together as a family. And we know it was quite an odyssey to get here, and I can't tell you how much it means to both of us. So we love you guys so, so much. One final warning, there's a razor blade in the welcome bags, in the first aid kit. Don't try and fly with it. Maybe you're fine, but that's on you. Okay, all right, love you guys. Up next is Shan and Chuck.
We are so happy for Jamie and Jarrod on this very special day. And we want to welcome Jarrod and Shawnee and Eric to our family. We knew as soon as when we first saw Jamie and Jarrod together, you know, they were going to be very good for each other.
And we want to thank all of you for traveling these great distances to be here on this wonderful day. Jamie and Jarrod, as you know, have friends and family from all over the country, all the way from Oregon to Florida and from California to New York, every place in between. So when they said told us where they wanted to have the wedding in Wyoming, we just said, oh, obvious choice. But it turns out to be the perfect choice.
That's right. The mountains and the scenery are so beautiful, and the Turpin Ranch is really awesome. We've had such a wonderful week, all the things that we've done. And thank you, Jamie and Jarrod, for finding this wonderful place to celebrate.
Now, we're going to say a few words about our beautiful daughter. It's our prerogative as parents. You know, raising kids is awesome, wonderful, and we wouldn't have missed it for anything. But I mean, let's face it, there aren't that many perks to the job. And bragging about your kids is just one of those things.
Yes, we're going to keep this short. We don't want to embarrass Jamie. We won't even mention the 4 months of colic.
No, we're not even going to talk about that. Poor little thing. Screaming all night.
That's what colic is. You all know Jamie pretty well. And I think, so maybe you can relate to this little story. I think maybe when Jamie was in the first or second grade, we had a parent-teacher conference, and we were sitting across the desk from the teacher, and she said, very solemnly, Jamie is strong-willed. We sort of looked at each other and smiled and said, ma'am, you have no idea.
And she's also very dependable. There was an instance, I'm not sure, you were maybe 10 or so, and I did something real stupid at home and broke my wrist. And Chuck was out of town, I think he was hunting or something, and I thought, what am I going to do? I knew my wrist was broken. You just know when you got a broken bone. So Reese and Hallie stayed home, and Jamie, and I mean, she's so good in a crisis, she just said, I'll get you to the hospital. She was like 10 years old. So I could steer with my left hand, and I couldn't do anything with my right, so she shifted the gears. And we got to the hospital, and I mean, we really count on this kid in a crisis. Yeah, I'm not done. Oh, there's one other little bit of Lynn family lore that we really want to share, and then we'll call this quits. But I think she was maybe 7 or 8. We were having, I forget the context, but we were having some discussion. Jamie wanted to do something, or buy something, or have something. She was presenting her case. We were discussing our concerns, and we were going back and forth, and you know, whatever it was we were trying to say, she just wasn't having it. She was like, mm-mm. And she ended the discussion with the now infamous phrase, your words mean nothing to me. Yeah, that's what we were tempted to do, was just start with. But the really great thing was, as soon as she said it, just the minute she said it, this look came over her face like, Oh, I think I may have gone a little bit too far. Oh, I'm not going to go either. I got one more thing. Now it sounds like Jamie was a parenting nightmare. Nothing could be further from the truth. She was a really fun kid, great kid. And the thing about having a child that is strong-willed, we never worried about peer pressure. We never worried about her following the crowd or anybody having undue influence over her. I mean, just imagine some fool trying to tell Jamie what to do. So Chuck and I figured that all we really need to do is to keep her on our side. And it worked.
The other thing about Jamie is that she's fiercely loyal to her friends and family. If you're lucky enough to be loved by this remarkable person, she'll walk through fire for you. Of course, this applies to Jarrod. We know that you've married a very special woman. Just keep her on your side. Actually, we don't have drinks for this.
We don't have drinks.
Okay.
You want drinks? No, we'll just.
And so we ask all of you to join us in raising a glass to this beautiful and remarkable happy bride and the man she loves, to Jarrod and Jamie Morgenstern.
Hi everyone. It's really wonderful to have all of you here, and we so appreciate each and every one of you making the effort to join us in this beautiful Wyoming country. Thank you for being here. I am a numbers person, and Eric is a word person, and Jarrod is somewhere in between. When Jarrod was in high school, he wrote an article about wrote a great editorial about the odds of finding a woman to spend the rest of his life with.
Do you remember this? It's coming back.
At the time, he was concerned that he might never find the right woman. Here is how his math worked out. First, he identified all of the qualities necessary for marriage, and then he set odds at finding that particular person. The first quality was that she had to be smarter than him. Jarrod is pretty darn smart, but I think Jamie gets a check mark on this one. Sorry about that, Jarrod. In high school, Jarrod said that only 1 in 10 women would qualify. Personally, I think the odds were less than that, but I am his mom. His next criteria was that they had to be able to have great conversations about poetry and politics, literature and life. And based on the conversation that we heard today from Eli's remarks, that's how their relationship started. I don't know about the conversations that they're having now, but I do know that Jamie has had great conversations with all of us about all of those topics. So she gets another check mark on that one. Jarrod put the odds at 1 in 20 for this quality. His next criteria is quite sweet. He said that this woman had to like him. Not only does Jamie seem to like Jarrod, he likes her a lot too. They are great for each other. They balance each other's strengths and bring out the best in each other. Jarrod put the odds at 1 in 250 women would have any feelings for him. And yet again, Jamie gets a check mark on this quality as well. Jarrod's next criteria was that he had to be brave enough to pull the trigger. We were fortunate to be with Jarrod right before he asked Jamie to marry him. He was so excited and giddy, it made my heart soar. In high school, Jarrod put the odds at 1 in 5 that he would actually get the courage to pop the question. What Jarrod failed to realize was that once he found the right woman, it would be much easier to commit. Obviously, Jamie gets another check mark on this one. Jarrod's last criteria is that the woman needed to think that Jarrod was funny. I loved what Jarrod wrote in his article, so I'm going to actually quote it. I'm not that funny, really. But every so often, a girl can come around that thinks I'm hysterical. I need to marry one of those. I don't know if Jamie thinks that Jarrod is funny, but I do know that he makes her laugh, and vice versa. Yet another check mark for Jamie. So here's how Jarrod's math worked. 10 times 20 times 250 times 5 times 100 equals 25 million. So back in high school, Jarrod said that the odds that he would find his future wife would be 1 in 25 million. But Jarrod forgot to factor in one more thing. Whoever he married would have to put up with the mortgage instruments. Jamie, thank you for not only putting up with us, but for welcoming us into your heart and your family. I am the luckiest mother-in-law in the world. So Jarrod, I promised that I would make most of my speech about Jamie, but I do want to take a moment to focus on you. As I was preparing for this weekend, I also came across my speech I gave you at your bar mitzvah. In my speech, I thanked you for your special gift of caring about your brother, your parents, your friends, and your world. What is remarkable and awesome to me is those are still the words I would use to describe you 20 years later. I love you, and I'm so very proud of you. And one more thing. Thank you for bringing Jamie into our lives. But your math was a little off. Jamie isn't 1 in 25 million. She's 1 in 7.4 billion. Everybody raise your glasses. Here's to Jamie and Jarrod. May your life be filled with the kind of love and joy you have today. And when you count your blessings, may you find each other in every single one. L'chaim.
L'dor v'dor, from generation to generation. We are all links in a long, long chain, and tonight our chains are officially connected, and we couldn't be happier. In Yiddish, the word mishpaka, Mark, pronounce it for me? Mishpacha, just like Mark. In Yiddish, the word means family and extended family. Tonight, we bring together the Morgenstern Mishpacha, the Lynn Mishpacha, and the honorary J&J Universe Mishpacha, and everyone here is now officially Mishpacha. Mazel Tov! It's the J&J Universe coming to life. We are thrilled to celebrate Jarrod and Jamie's marriage with every single one of you. In this beautiful place, at this special moment in time, thanks for making the trek to join us. It means so much. It is my pleasure tonight to share a few stories and give a little advice. I mean, that's what the father of the groom gets for writing part of the check. Marriage is a very sacred and holy relationship. One and done, for life, through thick and thin, once. I've had more than 600 clients in my professional career. I've worked at 5 companies, the last of which Shani and I started a little over 20 years ago. I love almost all kinds of food, all kinds of music, and almost every flower I meet. But I've only had one true love, and that's my Shani. And 38 years ago yesterday, we were married. Thus, my cheesy lifelong quote, variety in all things except spouses. Two become one, forever and always. That's marriage. And I know your marriage is destined for greatness. Look at them. We all know your marriage is destined. Jamie, I love you very much. You get me. We have a fabulous relationship, and it is so amazingly wonderful and joyous to finally have a daughter. And never did I think I would have a director of accounting in the family. I am so proud of you, and I love you. And we love the Lynn family. It's just always so much fun to be together. Shan and Chuck, Reese and Jill, eyeballs, where are we? Hallie, all the cousins and brothers and everyone, you've welcomed us into your lives, into your hearts. We so enjoy being with all of you and look forward to many more good times together. To all the Morgenstern and Rabinovitz and etc. clan that is here, thank you so much for being here, and thank you for all you do for J&J. Now, the photo spreads give you all a glimpse, just a glimpse, into the young Jarrod and Jamie, and note how much parallel there is between many of these photos. And that table shows the generational connections. Again, wonderful ideas from Shan to help bring the families all in together. And you get a sense of, you know, our eldest, who's been our pride and joy always, well, almost always. So Jarrod was such a great kid, and we had such a great time together. You loved space and sports and computers and vacations and the mountains. Now, I remember when Jarrod was 6, and we just had one computer at home. Well, we installed a security system called Kid Desk. That was a front bumper designed so that if you had a kid working off the computer, they couldn't get through and actually delete or mess with anything important. Yeah, well, I come home on like day 2, and he'd hacked his way through that barrier, and we called tech help to say, what should we do? And they congratulated us for having such a smart and precocious kid. It wasn't funny at the time. So Shani and I, where's Avi? Shani and I call home the first time that we had left them alone. I think you guys were 18 and 15. And I said, you know, Jay, overnight. I'm sorry, not left home. Well, they had the leash. I mean, let me try that paragraph again. When they were 18 and 15, we left town for the first time to leave them alone without us. And I call home and I go, hey, Jay, you know my rules. No broken glass, no open flame, clean up all the messes. And we have a hot tub outside in our backyard. And I go, Jarrod, I'm picturing you in the hot tub with a bunch of babes and just having a grand old time. How's it going? Well, there's a pause and a meek voice that says, Dad, I think I need some new friends. He found them in New York. You guys are unbelievable. So after KU, little rock chalk moment, this sweet Midwestern boy headed to the Big Apple, and he and Max found 40 West, and that became the nucleus of this incredible molecule that has evolved over a 10-year period to create some of the best relationships with some of the most incredible people that we've met, and we know you're living your lives with them. So great. You all are the honorary Mishpaka, and you knew that before I proclaimed it. Now, I could go on and on and on about our eldest, but I won't. One more story. We're a family of Post-it notes. They're not just not just for reminders, but always for little messages of love and affection. They're like everywhere in the morgue world. So when I turned 55, just a couple years ago, Jarrod wrote and hid dozens of Post-it notes all over our house, under plates, behind pictures. Not like an easy hunt, like you'll never find these, Dad. I found one just a couple weeks ago. Now, I'm not going to say it's the last one because we have a big house and there's probably some more hiding. But you are so thoughtful, and that Post-it note book that I have is more valuable than $1 zillion. J&J, your best days are ahead. And as of today, you will walk your path together through thick and thin, sickness and health, broken pinky toes and whatever. Whether you are living in poverty or basking in the penthouse, whatever, whenever, wherever, you will be together, always. Be especially kind to each other and to yourselves, because there's nobody more important in your life. So as I wrap up my remarks and give my final toast tonight, I have to admit to everyone I completely stole this toast from my Uncle Jack. So if you all will raise a glass, or an ethereal glass, to Jarrod and Jamie, if each of you will give 60% to the relationship, you'll each do your half. L'chaim.
We got Jamie.
After that, I grab your ass, but I just thought you should.
And I might come out for a Lakers game if they like.
You looking for some help?